I got a few thoughts on the new kickoff rule.
It was jarring, for sure.
Jarring.
Yes.
A little video game looking. It looks a little odd, but, and I think about this a lot in my life, what was the intent? The intent is we're trying to reduce the number of concussions for these amazing athletes who put their body in harm's way. Generally in my life, if your intent is good, I'm good. I don't have to agree with every single position or policy of my favorite political candidate to vote for them. I don't have to agree with my wife on every debate we have to love her. I've worked at companies that make decisions I don't agree with. I can still like a company. People in life are too rigid. Americans complain too much. Football is amazing. Stop seeking perfection. You want perfection? Look in the mirror. Do you live up to that standard? Football's not perfect, but it's great. There's a lot of rules in football I don't like. I think it's way too punitive that you fumble out of the end zone, and in football you lose possession. I think that's ridiculous. I think college football has pass interference right, where it's a 15-yard penalty, not 58 yards because your legs get tangled up. The NFL's not perfect, but they're always willing, unlike baseball, to change things. The catch rule was screwy for several years, and they changed it. In basketball, the Olympics have the FIBA rules. The NBA has their rules. I actually prefer some of the FIBA rules. If your intent is in the right place to protect these amazing athletes who are putting their body in treacherous positions in a sport with semi-regulated levels of violence, then I'm okay with it. I remember when UFC started, and Dana White and the Fertittas came out, and they took out some of the more ugly, eye-gouging, and all the UFC fans complained, oh, why don't you put a skirt on? The sport has done nothing but explode and grow. Yes, I know there's the guys out there. Why don't you just play flag football? Oh, yeah, because nobody would watch it. I love soft, pudgy guy on the couch suddenly telling me the league went soft. This league is for men, big, strong men colliding into each other. Let's create rules that at least protect them. And by the way, I watched the kickoffs last night. 7 of 8 were returned. 7 of 8, more football, just like when they changed the PAT rule. More real football, less going to the fridge for another beer. Last year, 73% of kickoffs were touchbacks, less football. Trust the NFL. They know what they're doing. They're not perfect, but their rules committee makes changes almost always for the right reasons. It's better for the fans, or in this instance, it's healthier for the players. Listen, it looks a little odd. It'll take some getting used to. So did the 3-point line the first year it came out. And then I got used to it. Many of you romanticize about the dream team. This Olympic basketball team, deeper, more talented, more skilled, more positionless. And many of you, when the NFL brought out rules to protect the quarterback, I was at another company. This will ruin the game, and the ratings and the revenue have gone up, 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 up. I don't watch football for players getting hurt in violence. I watch it for efficiency, great offense, amazing quarterback play. And yet last year, with all the protective measures with quarterbacks, over 60 took a snap. You don't watch football for the kickoffs. Stop it. 3 out of 4 go into the end zone. How many kickoff returns for touchdowns were there in the NFL last year? Less than a half dozen? I bet you we have more this year. But I also know for a fact you'll have more kicks returned. And let's circle back to the very beginning. If the intent in life is good, I'm not seeking perfection. They're doing it for the right reasons. Take a deep breath. Change is hard for a lot of people. You're still going to watch the games. So I saw this, the NFL, interesting story. It feels small, but is it? The NFL had to shut down a rule book loophole that was being exploited last year by 3 teams. The three teams were the Miami Dolphins, the San Francisco 49ers, and the Los Angeles Rams. In week one, the Dolphins used a certain motion that it looked like players often got a running start. So what do those three teams have in common? All three have really smart, young offensive coaches. By the way, the three teams that led the NFL in motion last year, in deception, the same three teams. For the record, I want my accountant and my coaches pushing the envelope, using anything they can that is legal, and it was. Now, the league can step in just like the IRS can and close a loophole, but I want my coaches pushing to the edge. If you go to the last 12 coaches that have got to Super Bowls or the AFC, NFC championship, I think it's 11 of 12. John Harbaugh's the only exception, but he knows offense. 11 of 12 have been offensive coaches. Push, push, push. Apologize later. Create. Progressive. Smart. Looking for loopholes and edges. Bill Belichick was a great coach. Brady retired. He fell off a cliff. Look around at the teams that run less motion, struggle to rebuild offensive lines, aren't very creative. It's overwhelmingly defensive staffs, defensive-leaning cultures. That doesn't mean DeMeco Ryans can't win a Super Bowl if he gets a star quarterback, but if he loses his OC, watch out. If I'm an owner today, I am looking around thinking, why did my coaches not use that loophole? That won the Rams and the Dolphins and the Niners games. Why is my accountant not doing that? Why is my owner not doing that? You know what rich guys probably do when they see somebody gets a loophole shut down by the IRS? They call their accountant and say, why weren't you using that? And that's what I'm doing today as a GM or an owner. Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin, why weren't you using that? Pete Carroll's last year, why weren't you doing that? I want my coaches to push the envelope. By the way, Philadelphia, the tush push. Make the league outlaw it. I think it's dangerous to have your quarterback in a position where players are pushing him from behind. I saw a couple of quarterbacks. I think Daniel Jones or Herbert actually got a little dinged up with the tush push. But I love the creativity of it. I love the Eagles creating something that absolutely moved the chains and without a doubt won a game or two. There's no question they extended drives throughout the course of the last 2 years with a tush push. It may not work without Jason Kelsey, and Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni may move off it, or the league may end it. That's up for debate. I think it's an ugly play that could get guys hurt. But make the league outlaw it. Push to the very edge.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.